Hey, today is December 17th, 2020. I'm here at the Federal Plaza in front of the FBI office to do a protest. So, this is the Federal Plaza FBI office in New York City. So, I've been reporting private investigators, a case of private investigators of harassment and putting my life in danger. Ever since I left my oil and gas job, I was being followed and harassed by private investigators. My case is the second case. My case started in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and another woman in the same city, Calgary, Alberta, Canada, named Akel Taylor. She was also harassed by private investigators, where these private investigators collude with the Calgary police to harass her. So lucky for her, she had a whistleblower, and which led to the conviction of the private investigator and three Calgary police officers of criminal harassment and corruption. So my case in the same city is the second case, and I reported my case to the Calgary police, and they framed me for having mental illness, which the police had used the same tactic for Akel Taylor's case. They framed her for mental illness as well. So if you report it of private investigators, it's an automatic um, mental illness. The police wouldn't do an investigation. But my case, the fact that my case, I have evidence of the frame, that I was being framed by the Calgary police. They, I was rear-ended twice, and I think my car accident was intentionally rear-ended twice by these private investigators, and um, and the police then used these two car accidents, saying that I was in two car accidents driving with delusion, a type of mental illness, with my son in the car. But my son was not in the car. He was in school during both of the car accidents where I was rear-ended. And I have school attendance to prove, as well as video evidence. So the police cover up these evidence and reported to the judge that I was mentally ill, that I need to be hospitalized or medicated. So they took out a warrant and took me to the hospital, and without showing the judge of any evidence. So basically, this is what you can do in Canada, where the police give verbal test their verbal testimony to the judge, and the judge will easily grant them a warrant, a mental health warrant. So this is very easy process for the police to do, and they they have a law called Viva Voce. So I will check out my website, which I have explained about my case in Canada, and basically, Viva Voce means that the judge can take verbal account, verbal testimony, and make his decision. So the police took out the warrant, took me to hospital, forced me to be hospitalized, even though I had evidence showing that my son was not in the car. I have video evidence, and the police refused to take in the evidence. So this is a pretty bad situation of the police corruption in Calgary. And if you Google Calgary police, you will see a string or a history of Calgary police corruption, from harassing their own police women, to perjury. It's not their first time to give false verbal testimony at the court. They tamper with evidence, and they, use excessive force to do their jobs. So it's a bad situation. The doctors at the hospital set me up with a, wrote down false reports of me having mental illness, even though I told them I have evidence. The doctor refused to take the evidence. So basically, I knew I was being set up. And so I left Calgary and reported my case to the RCMP, to the commissioner, RCMP commissioner Randall Lucky in Ottawa. I moved from Calgary to Ottawa and reported my case to the RCMP headquarters. And guess what? No surprise. They also tried to cover up police corruption, refused to take in evidence. And I was also set up by the doctors that they put in false doctors. And these private investigators have connection with the police because they're former police officers working as private investigators. So I was basically set up, and if you can pay, private investigators, they will do jobs that, unconventional way of doing their job or breaking the law of doing their jobs. We don't have strong laws to regulate private investigators because anybody can pay them to do investigations. And they abuse their licenses to stalk and harass people. So my case is it's more extreme, and so I had to move to America. My son has an American citizenship, so we moved to New York City, thinking that we could just avoid these kind of situation in Canada. But guess what? I was being set up too here in New York. I reported of my case of private investigators. I was assaulted. My car got broken in. They broke in my car, took important documents. I was intentionally assaulted at the subway station here in New York City, and I had a witness who saw the whole incident that I was being assaulted. And so two cases, yeah, in November 2020, just last month. So string of crimes continue to occur here in New York City, and I submitted my evidence to the FBI back in September 2019 about my case and asking for help. They said it's not their jurisdiction. Yeah, organized criminals is not their jurisdiction. It's such a joke. And so I also submitted. I was set up by the Port Authority Police because I was planning to fly out to Switzerland in July 2020 with my son, because the situation in New York is pretty bad because crimes committed against me, just strings of crimes committed against me. How can I stay with no help? And so I was being denied to board the plane in July 2020 when I was trying to fly out to Switzerland. They didn't give me any reasons. I don't have a criminal background. I'm not a criminal. They could have arrested me if I'm a criminal, but they denied my rights to board the plane. So they knew that I was going to Switzerland to seek out help and claim asylum there, but they denied my my rights to board the plane. And my computer got hacked. My cell phone got spyware because these private investigators are former police officers, so they use high-tech technology to do their jobs. And technologies equivalent to the police use or the FBI use. So they knew that I was flying out to Switzerland, and they did whatever they could to block me from flying out to get to seek for help. And so I went to the Port Authority Police and reported my case. Guess what? They set me up with this fake cop, and they trying to do the same thing here in New York, having someone pose as a fake cop. So if I reported a fake cop, the police could probably get a warrant and force me to go to a hospital and get hospitalized. And it's so easy for a doctor just to write up an a medical report saying that I'm mentally ill with delusion, thinking there's fake cops. But I used a hidden camera and captured this man posed as fake cop with he's wearing a real police uniform right there, Lieutenant J. Cruz, and he has a second name tag named Hernandez. That's his real identity, which he flipped over the name tag and to conceal his real identity. So this is how I know, because I've been dealing with this case for several years now, trying to get help, but I have no help. And they didn't know I used a hidden camera to record this incident here. So I have evidence of this fake cop, and I submitted my evidence to the FBI in November 2020, and they told me that they're going to contact me in 2 weeks. Didn't happen. Back in September, I reported about my case. They told me the same thing. They're going to have somebody contact me in 2 weeks. Didn't happen. It's been over a year, and the FBI still wouldn't do an investigation. So they basically told me it's up to them whether if they do an investigation or not, and it's not up to me to tell them to do an investigation or not. You gotta be kidding me, because my life is at risk. This is an organized crime. I mean, FBI are not stupid people. This is like legit evidence, which this is a real uniform. I have a video recording of this incident at the Port Authority police station, showing this fake cop that was intentionally framed by the police. So, FBI are federal agents. They're, smart people, not stupid people. If you submitted false information, if you made up this false information, if I hire a guy and dress up as a cop and frame the police, that's a serious stuff. That's deceiving the FBI or federal agents and frame the police and submit false information to the FBI. That's serious crime. So the FBI has been delaying my case, and it has gotten to the point that that they're trying to cover up this case. And so I've been protesting in front of the FBI office since November 2020. I've been here almost every single day from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. to do my protests. And, this is ridiculous. I mean, you would think that the law enforcement are doing their jobs. No, we have a system that we need to believe that the police, the FBI are doing the right job. We need to believe that they are telling the truth. But we all know that's not the case. They don't always do the right job. They don't always telling the truth. That's the fact. And yet we have the system that they make the calls. They, if crimes involve their own police officers, the rule of law does not seem to apply to them. It doesn't seem like they are, fall under the law. They enforce the law, but it doesn't seem like they comply the law. That's the problem, because even with the case of George Floyd, we can see that the police officer killed a man, and their commanders didn't even want to open an investigation until you have a mass of people to protest to demand an investigation to arrest those officers. I mean, this is the type of police system that we are dealing with in America, as well in Canada. Because, what is democracy when you have, law enforcement? They're not protecting your rights or respecting your freedom and your rights and freedom, and they go against the law, and they themselves don't comply with the law. they manipulate the system, and there's nothing we can do about it. But I'm not going to give up. I need to have the FBI to do their job, because I have evidence. I submitted evidence of fake doctors wrote up faulty mental health reports, making accusations saying I have mental illness. And the fact is, I have real evidence to show that these doctors are, set me up. So I am going to protest here until the FBI is going to do something about it. And so. FBI! Open up an investigation. You have my case evidence. I was set up by the police, by the Port Authority police. They deny me from leaving the country to seek help. They set up this fake cop. Yeah, real evidence. Work with real evidence. Fake cop. Lieutenant J. Cruz. Real evidence of police corruption. Do not cover up. You are putting me and my son's lives at risk. Enough! Too many crimes committed against me. My car got broken in. I was assaulted at the subway station. My cell phone got stolen by your security guard. Shame on you. Yeah, so in one incident on December 4th, 2020, I was doing my protest and using my cell phone to record the protest. A security guard works here at the Federal Plaza, came up to my phone, took my phone and put it in his jacket pocket. Yeah, and then when I reported to their supervisor, the supervisor said he didn't steal the phone. Yeah, how did he know? He wasn't even there. They kept on denying he didn't steal the phone. And who steals a phone in front of a Federal Plaza, in front of FBI agent? This is the type of system that we have to deal with. And the FBI sent out a homeland security to my protest to intimidate my protest. This is the type of manipulation system and manipulation that I'm trying to protest. And so here we go again. Look at the security guard came up to me, and
Ma'am,
so this is a type of harassment.